Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name's Lawrence, and I'm here to show you the origami crane, as promised. The origami crane is a beautiful flower that stems throughout our summer in a range of colours and tones, with a variety of scents to your own thoughts. Today, I'll start quickly with simply making the square as we did last week. So all you do is simple right angle triangle. Turn it over, or fold it straight away. Fold it upward. Everyone can find their own way of just making a simple square. All you're doing is tearing off that little excess paper if you're using A4, A3, or any paper that isn't square shaped. Here we are, nice and quick. As usual, I'm just tearing it off. So there we go, we have a right angle triangle and our square. So we're making the same base we did last week, or same first base rather. And all we have to do is fold it in half again along that long line. Just fold it in half again along that long line, corner to corner. Then we open it up and we made our first preliminary fold. Then we fold it down again, just to follow that line just to the point, all nice and open at the bottom. And same again on the other side. Ooh. If you already know how to make this base, then just skip forward as you desire. And please pause if you need to. So then I'm going to fold it in half again, like I didn't do last time, just to make sure I've got it folded on both sides. And then we lift it up, open at centre, and just flatten it down. Same again on the other side. And once again, we've made our first base. Hopefully this will be nice, simple and clear to you. Next, all we need to do now is different to what we did last time, the same to what we did last time. Rather than fold it on the bottom side, we're folding it on the top. Make the same preliminary folds we did last time. Okay? We're going to make them a few more times this time, just to make it easier. And as I said in the past, once you get used to this, you don't have to make the preliminary folds if you know how to make them a little bit quicker, essentially. You know the form we're trying to make. But as I say, they also help with making sure they do follow what you're trying to create. Very easy when you're trying to make them as tiny as I did last week. So there we go, got those preliminary folds, but then turning the pages on both sides and then doing it again. So because as you see, with our next step, rather you will see. There we go. And there we go, and then just unfold them all as before. So just before we go to the next step, one thing I also want to point out is when you're making this base, a little square base, it's also very similar to the fortune teller. If you remember how to make these, you know? Ooh, pick a number, pick another number, and then your fortune will be told. With this, I just unfold it, and all we've done is made the exact same half and half, corner to corner fold. And all we've done is that. Okay. See? Exactly the same. It depends on how everyone will find their own way of making this a little easy to understand. So for the next, after I've done these 3 times, I will stop or just start from this base. So from here, all we need to do is lift that up and flatten it down. With that, you turn it over and do the same. You can start with either side, because then we just fold the pages over and do the same on the inside. See? Just like that. Then fold all 3 pages over and do it one more time. So there we go. We now have that little moment that makes it a little bit easier to make many, many flowers. But primarily we are just using this for the basic lily. So from here, we do something we did from the bird base. Do those preliminary folds just to the center. Try and keep them as close to the line as possible, nice and flat. Okay, I do them on all of the sides, you see, on all 4 sides, where you see the line. Just that little line there, okay? Alright, so I've done that on both sides there, as you can tell. And then, do that there. And that again. There we go. So what we've done, then just sort of flip that over. So what we've done now, got them all ready to changed. So now what we're doing, we're going to lift that up, but we have to keep between those 2 corners. You can see what I'm doing there. What you do, you just lift that up. And then flatten those inward, just to follow that line there, okay? Do you see what I've done? So I'm doing this lovely little thing here. Flatten that down. Fold that to the point. So fold that following that line in the center, okay? So on all 4 sides. Then we turn it over and do it again. With practice, these do become easier. So I do hope I'm being as instructive as I can. Okay, so you've done that, and then you just fold those down on every side. So I've done that. Then you fold it over and do the exact same thing on those other 2 sides. So inward and fold, inward and fold. And fold it down. So, as I've shown, you've done that 4 times on 4 sides that you created. You've lifted that up, you've gone inward, flatten them down to the closest line, and then flatten that corner down there. Alright, that is all the preliminary folds finished. Now, we open to those pages, the ones where there are no lines, just that 1 line down the center, okay? All it is just the clear pages. All we're going to do is where those are meeting, so where that's going up turning it up, folding that in, okay? All right, there we go. As you can see, turning it over, doing it again. So, as I said, I'll just fold those back in, just to the center, all four sides. Can you see either those little lines there? One line, two line, in, okay. So a little triangle there, and then a long triangle all the way to the bottom on both sides, okay. Then do that again. And there we have it. And what you've actually done now, you've made your lily. All we do is open it up, four corners, as you can see. All where you got made those little lines there. And what we do is just fold those down. We make the petals. And there we have it. So, as I say, the lily comes in many different shapes and tones. All you have to do is pick your colour, pick how you want to do it, or just, as I like to do it, make it out of whatever paper you can find. Just as a bit of a pastime. And what you can do as well is make a good few of these and make your own little plant pot. It can be quite fun. So, we've now completed the lily. I do hope what I've shown you so far has been instructive. And if you need anything to go over, just rewind back, and hopefully it will be a bit clearer. Okay. In the future, I may repeat some of these as well if there's been any issues with understanding them. Okay. But if you need any help, just make a comment or send me a message, and I'll do the best I can to help. So the next stage now is making the lily stem. So I've already made the square. Yeah. And this one is very, very simple. Just open it up. Can you see the nice long line you've done for making the triangle? Just fold that in. On both sides. And then once again on this side. Following that line the best you can, like you're making an aeroplane. Then turn it over, just fold those inward. And there you have it, the stem. So we fold it in half once again. And then what we do is, while we grip that little point there, so just about halfway down the stem, or a bit lower, then you flatten it down and then push that little corner upward. There you go, just like that. Okay, and what you've done there is you made your leaf, and then all you do is tuck that inside the stem there. Okay. That's what I always do, what I've always struggled with sometimes as well. So all I do is just tuck it in on the side with that little twist I made earlier, and there we go. Latch it down, then just keep those open. We can also do, just to make the petals a little curly, you can also roll these as well. Just make them a little curlier and a bit more flowery. So, as mentioned last week, the challenge of how many can you make in a minute. So I'm going to see how quickly I can make all of these out of what I've prepared. Okay, so starting now. Should have made a bigger piece of the paper to do this. What the hell? I'm trying. So we're going to see how many of these little birds I can make in a minute. But I'm only going to make bloody one because I made it so tiny. As I say, a lot easier to make these when they're a bit bigger. And look at that, I just made one tiny one. Ooh, a single minute. And even bloody finish in the minute. A little bit longer. Oh, wow. Poor show of the challenge, but as I say, I'm curious though. How many of how many of these can you make? I don't really mind how big a piece of paper you've used. You just made like 16 squares, 20 squares. Or you bought one of the big packs full of them. But I dare you to tell me how many of these little Origami cranes or whatever you choose to make in 1 minute. Thank you very much. Well, thank you for watching. Please leave a like and a comment below. And I hope to see you again next week. Enjoy the rest of your day, or have a good night's sleep. Farewell.